Heyo and welcome back to Wonderlands gamers. In today's video I have my first of hopefully many community challenges. This one being an endgame challenge which anyone with any character can participate in just for fun, or if you guys want to take it a little bit more seriously, particularly if you're a content creator or anybody that can just record their gameplay, you can complete the challenge as a speedrun. The challenge is to essentially complete a featured run in the Chaos Chamber. If you haven't done a featured run before, there's multiple different kinds of Chaos Chambers. There's normal, there's extended, there's a Chaos Trial, and then the featured run is a set combination of rooms, making it a little bit easier to set a fair challenge for everybody. We're going to be completing this challenge on Chaos 20 as well as Intense mode. If you don't know how to change that, go to Options and go Gameplay, and you can switch this between Balance, Relax, and Intense mode. Now, of course, that's not the entire challenge. The main point of this one is actually using solely the manual transmission for your source of damage. This thing is a Stoker/Vladov AR, which comes with a little bit of a difficult to use but fun gimmick built into it, and it only drops from one particular boss. The boss is located in Mount Craw, and you will have to complete a side mission to actually unlock them, which I have already completed, so I don't have the exact map location for you, unfortunately, but it is like one of 3 side missions in the area, and it is called the Slayer of Vorkanar. So pick that one up, complete it in its entirety, and you'll eventually end up at this location right here, which very conveniently has its own little fast travel station. So if you have completed it, just come to Tribute Way, and you'll end up right out front of the boss fight itself. And we'll be fighting Vorkanar to get ourselves a manual transmission. Now, this thing does not drop in the world drop systems. You can't get it from the Chaos Chamber, and you cannot get it from any other boss, unfortunately. But it does drop in all elemental types, including non-elemental, and you're welcome to use any combination of those as you want in your run. Now, as for that gimmick I was talking about, this thing has 245 bullets out of 245 bullets right now, and doesn't reload or break like the other weapons. Instead has its own gimmick. As you start to fire, it originally has a pretty air fire rate for a lot of AR, and eventually the ammo count turns a dark red. And when it is dark red, you want to switch gears, aka hit the alternate firing mode button, and slowly that fire rate builds up higher and higher until it goes insanely fast. If, however, you switch gears too late or too early, the weapon will break, you'll have to go through a reload animation, and the firing rate will go back to what it was originally, and then you'll have to build it up again. As for the rules for the challenge, like I said, we're doing a featured run of the Chaos Chamber at Chaos level 20 and Intense mode. You can use only the manual transmission to deal damage. That's like the main #1 rule, with the exception of companions, because you can't actually remove those, but everything else is going through the weapon's damage. You can use any class mod, any armor, any rings, any necklaces you'd like, as well as shields, with the exception of Novas. If there's a Nova as a passive on the shield, you can't use it. Any melee weapons can be equipped, but you can't actually use them to hit enemies. So you'd be using them for passives and enchants only. Same deal with spells. You can have any of them equipped for enchantments if you'd like, but if you want to actually activate/cast them, you can only use spells that don't directly deal damage themselves. So anything that buffs your weapon damage, like the Buffmaster, I will accept. The ones that have like the dome over the top of you that give you some damage reduction and increase your damage a little bit, you can do that as well. I know the Buffmaster has a small Nova at the start when you activate it, but let's be real, that's not making a real difference to the run. So I will accept it for this one because it is mostly just for fun challenges. In terms of action skills, all characters are welcome to use their action skills, but you can't actually use them to directly deal damage to enemies. Now, I know this is where it kind of gets hard to keep things fair, but for example, Ghostblade can be activated somewhere where it won't actually hit enemies, just for the purpose of activating your skills in your skill tree, as well as your enchantments. But for something like From the Shadows or Reaper of Bones and Graveborn, you'll find to use that like normal because all the damage is again going through the weapon. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go. I've never run a community challenge before, but I thought I'd prepare just in case you guys were super keen to compete against each other. So I've created 2 brackets. The original bracket is called the Zoomers. This one is just a featured run Chaos 20 Intense mode, and you can do any combination of rooms. So any of the portals, any of the blessings/curses, you are welcome to take any and all of them to just complete the run as quickly as physically possible. And you do not have to complete any of the raid bosses. Now, if there's any super sweaty gamers out there that want to make the most goated manual transmission build of all time and want an extreme challenge to compete that build against, I've created the Elite bracket. This one is again the featured run Chaos 20 Intense mode, but every single portal you go through, you have to make it an Elite run from start all the way through to finish. Also, any of the Dragon Lord portals that pop up, you have to go through those ones in particular. That way you get more curses. You also cannot take any buffs with the exception of ammo capacity. I'll allow you to take more ammo and allow you to increase your ammo capacity, because that's probably going to be the main problem with this weapon. I was also going to make it a rule originally that you have to pick the harder of the 2 curses that Dragon Lord offers you each time, but because so many of them are just currently broken and blatantly make 0 sense, I'm just going to set it for this challenge so that you can choose whichever curse you would like. But for the Elite run, you will have to do all of the raid bosses, including the Maker, for your run to count. That's, of course, only if you want to take it super seriously and compete time-wise against other people in the community. But if you just want to take it as a fun challenge, bend the rules however the heck you guys would like and just have fun with it. But if you actually want to compete time-wise, I have absolutely no idea how many people would be interested in something like that, but I'll set it up just in case people are. I'll have a Discord channel in my Discord, which is linked in the description, or I'll leave in the pinned top comment. Then you can submit your times by just uploading your best run to YouTube. You can leave it on unlisted, or you can post it to public if you guys would like. If you stream, you can also send me a link to your VOD if you want. Just make sure you definitely timestamp exactly when your best run was. And then when you send the link, send how long your best time was, just so I have a general gauge of everybody's run. Also, in the clip, whether you're on stream or you're posting it to YouTube, with absolutely 0 edits, after or before you run, prove that you are in intense mode on Chaos 20 and then hover over all of the gear that you have equipped, just so that we know that everybody is using the right gear if you're actually competing for the leaderboard. That assuming, again, a bunch of people do actually want to compete against each other, I'll get a leaderboard made up by our very talented thumbnail artist. I'll post that on Twitter, I'll post it in our Discord, and I'll post it in the next community challenge video, assuming I do make one in the next week or two. Again, this week's event, if you guys are actually competing on times, will likely have to end this Thursday when the new hotfix/patch comes out, which will likely change the actual featured runs like assortment of a room, so then it won't be the same competition. If it doesn't change this Thursday, I'll let you guys know via Discord. I'll likely extend it to the following weekend. That way you guys have plenty of time to make the best manual transmission build. Also, apologies, I do know not everybody has access to being able to record their gameplay and uploading it to YouTube to actually verify the best times. But if you guys still want to compete time-wise, you can still post in our Discord. We have plenty of Wonderlands channels. You guys can flex your best times in there. We just won't be able to actually verify them. And that is our community endgame challenge week 1. I'm keen to do more weeks if you guys are keen for them as well. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions or suggestions for this week or future weeks as well. I usually answer all the comments. Also, again, if you guys want to join the Discord, I'll leave in the pinned top comment or in the description down below. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video and our live stream. Until then, have a fantastic day. Adios.